Hold on a second. All right, all right. Let's get into Creed 2. And this is poor lighting. I'm sorry. But wish there was a way to let me see. Hang 1 second, guys. Nope. All right. Fuck it. Let's just go with it. Let's just stick to this. I know it's not the best lighting, but it whatever. So let's get into Creed 2. So Creed 2, I went to go see this movie yesterday. I managed to see, I was gonna go see it opening day, but I had, there was Thanksgiving and had a lot of things to do that day, and I just missed opening night. Then Thanksgiving happened, and then the weekend, and I just had never had time to do anything I wanted to do. So I'm just keep this light on. So anyway, Creed 2 is, I don't like this light. I'm just gonna keep it as is. So anyway, I'm getting so distracted right now. I'm like 88. I'm like ADD or something right now. But anyway, Creed 2 for me. When I went to see the movie Monday, by the way, I managed to get only paid $1 for the movie because I don't know. Apparently there was like I don't know. When I paid the ticket, cause I buy it on the Regal app. Can I go to the Regal? And made me only pay $1. So I don't know what that was all about, but free movie pretty much. I mean, $1 for a movie, a big movie like that, hey, can't beat it. But anyway, Creed 2 for me, I felt like this movie had its overall. This movie was great. Were there some parts that Creed 1 did better than Creed 2? Yes, like the training montage. I felt like usually every Rocky movie, except for Rocky 5, but all the other Rocky movies, including Creed, every training montage had some sense of motivation to the point when you're watching Rocky work out, you want to work out. Where, or just have motivation, just that emotional pull to the character in the movie, and a personal level of emotions watching it. Even with Creed, like, and the problem with me was with this movie, I feel like the song selections were, I feel like the only song for me that really stood out is when his wife sang "I Will Go to War," going into. Oh, by the way, this is spoilers, by the way. But I mean, it's Tuesday, came out Wednesday night. You had plenty of time to see it. But anyway, her singing "I Will Go to War," I feel like that was a perfect time. The song did have an emotional pull to it, especially having her sing it. And then, ironically, the song credit, the song they play in the credits with Lil Wayne, loved it. Even though I didn't stick around for the credits or anything like that. But I only do that for Marvel movies. But anyway, I loved Rocky. I loved Creed in this movie. I loved her wife, Paul's, and the two characters really that stood out for me the most in this film were Drago and Drago's son. I felt like they stood out the most. I kind of felt bad for a little bit for Drago, but really for his son, because all his son wanted was some sort of future in a career. I feel like in the end he still got it. I felt like in a weird way, you know, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out if they even show that in future Creed movies. But you know, the thing with me was I thought going into the film, I felt like, you know, because the one thing that people had gripes about in this before this movie came out is that they're going right, you know, soon after they're saying, "Oh, Creed just came out." Now they're rushing into this whole Ivan Drago's son versus Creed's son, and this whole rival thing, and you know, just a big money grab. But you know, I felt like there's three possible ways, really two, how they could pull it off. Like they can pull off the whole Rocky and Rocky 2 thing where, like with Rocky, he went the distance and he lost, but and then Rocky 2 he comes back for redemption. But see, then they pulled the whole Rocky 3, and I liked the first idea I had more than the second idea where he lost way through the movie, and then basically the rest of the movie is him regaining motivation, because when he loses the fight, he loses motivation to fight, and you know, and he has to get that fire, that light back in order to fight Drago's son. And I felt like, in a way, that I don't know, it was a great story. I feel like if we were to compare a story like that with Creed 2 and Rocky 3, I feel like Creed 2 did it better, except for the training montage. You know, I don't know. The one thing that really I felt very lost without was the training montage. I felt like in a Rocky movie, or either a Rocky movie or movies that it's in the same universe of Rocky, like Creed, like you gotta have that training montage. You gotta have that. And the thing they did with Creed 1 is that they had perfect song selection, great pull personally, and just an emotional pull. And you know, it's just, for me, I feel like I got that for Creed, but not for Creed 2. You know, and Donnie Creed, you know, he did it. He did it excellent. His wife did excellent. Rocky did excellent. I loved at the end. Spoilers. I know I already kind of like ruined that, but spoilers, by the way, at the end. Cause I was thinking, you know, they're talking about how Rocky is going to talk, you know, with Rocky and Donnie, they're talking about, you know, you should go visit your son, you know, stop living in the past, move forward, which and the thing overall, the lesson, because in Rocky movies and even Creed, like there's a lesson to be learned. There's something to take from it like that, which I feel like we don't get that a lot in movies anymore. Even though, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all movies, I'm just saying stuff like that. I feel like just ground to earth, human lesson like type deals. I feel like we don't get that a lot. And when it came to Creed 2, I feel like that's one thing they did execute, in my opinion. But overall, the story and you know, the plot, everything about it, and how he ended up meeting his son. Because I was first thinking, because I know his son in real life, Sylvester Stallone's son died of I believe it was a overdose. I believe he committed suicide or something like that. But anyway, with that happening, I was like, how are they going to somehow introduce his son? Are they going to have some new actor, or they're going to bring the actor who played his son in Rocky Balboa, which is aka Rocky 6. So with that being said, I was like, they have to do that. That's the best way to, like, because no one's going to really recognize the other. Cause I believe, was it his? I don't know. I'm not going to get into it, but I was like, that's why I was thinking throughout the movie. I was like, the only way, if they were to bring in his son, the only way to introduce that was to bring in his son, the one who played him in Rocky Balboa. And by the way, I just realized it now, like the Rocky movie, all the Rocky characters from the Rocky movies, besides Rocky, that is the only character besides Rocky in the original Rocky movies, the storyline, is the only character that really is shown in the Creed movies. Of course, you see pictures of Creed and Rocky's fights and all this other stuff in Rocky, but you don't really get to see, besides Drago, but I'm talking about like characters from other movies, like his son. I was like, that's pretty cool that we finally get somebody besides New. We have somebody from the Rocky family and the Rocky movies to come into this movie. And it was only for a couple of seconds, but at the end of the day, I feel like this movie did great. I feel like the training montage was pretty much a letdown, but overall, I feel like this movie was great. And there were some times where I felt a little, not bored, but like kind of like I feel like they could have done more, but it's still a good movie. It's still a great movie. There's times where I really did have of emotional pull, but besides the training montage, which I didn't have at all, but overall, Creed 2, I think is well deserved. I think it deserves another sequel. I think the one thing that did establish in this movie is that he is Creed. He's not, I feel like he's really moving away from the Rocky shadow. I feel like that's what happened with Creed. Even Creed kind of did that as well, but Creed 2 just kind of pushed that even more. And I can't wait for Creed 3 if they come with Creed 3. You never know nowadays, but if they do bring Creed 3, I hope they do something. The one thing they need to prove on with, if they do Creed 3, is the training montage, and make sure that shit is like Rocky 4 type training montage, because that's the one thing I was missing the most out of this whole Creed movie. The Creed 2. So if I had to give this a rating, I would have to give it a 8.7 out of 10. And why I give it like 8.7 is just basically the training montage. I felt like, in a way, they kind of could have done something more about the relationship with Rocky and Drago. Also, I kind of feel like his wife, in a way, didn't. I know his focus is supposed to be on Creed, but I feel like his wife could have been her story a little bit more told in the movie. They really don't deal with Adrian, but in the Rocky series, but the saga film, the movies, but I don't know. But overall, it's really hard to nitpick about stuff because it's just small stuff that could have been touched up. But no movie is perfect, so at the end of the day, it's an 8.7 out of 10. But I love this movie. I truly 100% recommend it to not just Rocky fans, but boxing fans and just moviegoers and movie lovers in general. I recommend seeing this movie. It's a must watch. So that's my review of Creed 2. And if you liked my review, hit the like button, comment down below, and tell me what you think about the movie. And after all that, then subscribe to the best in the business, Ryan Shred TV. You dig. Had to throw that in there. So I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.